this is the season to become ungovernable. And this is just a really quick AMA session to hang out with y'all because I was hanging out with Zero, aka 0x0 on X. And we were hanging out yesterday actually in real life in person, and we were trying to see if we can do a recording at the Micro Center to get all of our DGX Sparks. I have one of these Sparks, and I was actually buying a second one so I can get them configured. And then Sarah was buying 3 of them so he can give it one away. So in my configuration, the goal for me was just to see if I can get these 2 connected. And something that I learned, and I will be having some more content around this, is going to be around LocalStudio.ai. So with LocalStudio.ai, I found out about this. This is how you can have your own version of Codex running at your own house. This is a full-fledged app that you can use that will gather your projects, and then this can run all with local models. As you can see, it's completely running with local models. Sarah was giving me some of the sauce, and I thought I would just come on here really quickly because we couldn't do a live, is to kind of show you in person some of the tools and things that he showed me before I get an official video out, which will be coming out like later this week. And so this is just a quick peek because I got to head out like in 10 minutes. And so this is really, really cool because this interface actually looks like Codex in a lot of ways, but you can see how many tokens you've used, and this is just all with his local models. And you just go to LocalStudio.ai, and that's where you can get the download for this. So this will allow you to easily serve the models, take a look at some of the models here and kind of get them so they can start running them with via LLM. This is going to be extremely useful. I'm currently getting this set up in my own thing, and this is probably something you should probably be checking out as well. What's also crazy is Sarah got a hold of this thing called Kitty Litter, and it was one of the first clients that was able to talk to Codex over the phone before this guy went to go work at OpenAI. This is now open source, and this is now actually rolling into this, and I'm super excited to hear about how this is all going down. Since this is a live stream, giving a shout out to y'all because it's AMA. Gold Rock, what's going on? Thank you for showing up. I just ordered a couple more DGX Sparks. Those are some pretty gold rocks. Aren't they right? These are just insanely beautiful. It's so amazing to see them there. Debated. Dabbled. The DeepSeek Flash is something else. Okay. We'll run on my Mac Mini. How much RAM you got? I think this is like more of the story. You can use an Apple thing for like a pre-fill stuff, but yeah, this was kind of us hanging out in real life, which was pretty amazing. We had quite the journey. We were trying to get approval for a live stream, and we couldn't close the approval process down in the store on time. So we just took some photos and stuff, and my brother did some recording, but I think it was just more of the story was actually just afterwards and stuff. So these are the sparks that we had in the thing. There's also an interconnect cable, and I have some videos that are recorded that's going to show you how I connect the 2 together. So that would be coming up. Also, if you're in San Francisco this coming Tuesday, make sure you check out the AIOS event that I have holding down with Convex, a free event, free food. Minimax is going to be one of the folks who I think are sponsoring. We also have Wendy Labs who are showing up as well. Wendy Labs, if you aren't aware, I did a live stream with them where I showed up. They have software all written in Swift that can control robots. To put software on robots is damn near impossible sometimes. It can take several days. You can spin something up like a robot like this in pretty much like less than 5 minutes. All done in Swift, and because these guys are so hardcore at coding agents already know what to do. So they have lots of great content, and I'm excited to tinker around with it. So all you have to do is just sign up for free for the Luma event here. Let me put this Luma event into the chat so that way you guys can sign up. And definitely go sign up and take a look and participate because it'd be really fun to see you there in person. So I'll be hosting it with myself, Ronald Monak. Convex just raised a nice Series B. I'll try to get a demo going to show you some of the Convex stuff that is really, really cool. And yeah, just come out there if you just want to vibe. We're just going to do these little breakout sessions so that people can vibe with robots and do these other things. If you weren't at the last event with Factory on Thursday, this was crazy. So they asked me to MC the event. We had Philip Kiley from Bastani.ai. We had Nan from Modal who taught us a bunch of things about how you can optimize things in the cloud, run things for your own things. We also had Base 10. We had Minimax. We had Kimmy, Moonshot folks there. It was packed, super packed house, and it was a really fun event. And so you can see all the different people there, standing room only, which is insane. I think the buzz in San Francisco is just getting really, really big now. There's just insane amount of people who are interested in these events. So when you do sign up, make sure you sign up and show up early because especially if there's food, it just pretty much went out the door. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like insanely popping. So I definitely suggest you check it out. So we had some gold sauce here. If you haven't had a chance to check out, I've been telling everyone about this because I've now become a fan of Herder. So if you're running agents in the cloud, especially on a Mac Mini, there's this thing called Herder. And so you may have heard of this other thing called Tmux, which will basically allow you to run a terminal session remotely. If you've ever done this before, where you SSH into a computer and you're running Claude code, and then you like close the window and you come back and you try to SSH back into the computer, it's pretty much gone because that connection is just like one-to-one. And so a lot of times what people do, they tell you, hey, set up Tmux. And so it would allow you to, log into the terminal session, and basically you can just have that little thing that's kind of running in the background. And then Tmux will allow you to kind of connect to that agents or something like that, or that session. I'm like overly explaining it. I don't want to get too technical as far as like how the shell works and how the operating system hands off processes in the back. Like you don't need to know that. You just have to know that like when you SSH in, you're usually kind of directly connected, and then Tmux will kind of allow you to have that session in the background. There are people who've made their other versions of that, like CMux and all these other things, but Herder is really cool because I just found out this is a place to have all of your agents, because if you have different agents in different organizations, you can organize them by different spaces. So you can have projects here, you can have different coding agents go across, almost like Safari with tabs. So it's kind of like nerd level 5,000, 9,000. I don't know, you can do all these things. Your agents are also listed here. So if your agents are blocked or working on things, you basically have this space to check up on them no matter what space they are in. And this is very handy because I've had like 50 million like different terminal windows open with all these different boxes everywhere. And it's just hard to wrangle them. Obviously, because of us working in our current nature, it's not only agent native, they can spin off panes and add things into the actual, like your agents can actually start spinning up and putting stuff in there as well. So like this gets really meta, and it's just amazing. I realized that they're recently backed by Y Combinator, and this is a really, really good find. Herder.dev, huge find. And I think you should definitely do that as well if you haven't had a chance to do that. So will any of the events be live streamed for Convex? No. And then, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live stream somewhere around 1 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm going to be doing a part 2 with my friend Alex. So if you haven't had a chance, there's this thing called Atomic. So Atomic from, let's see, hold on. Bastani.ai. So if you haven't had a chance to check this out yet, in our last live stream, my guy, like this is, loops, graphs, and all that stuff. You don't really have to worry too much about all like the logistics and things. And the cool thing about this here is that my screen is freezing. Okay, let me just see if I can kind of get my computer back. I'm having some issues with my current session here. What's going on? I'm wondering if I'm actually running a test in the background or something's going on. Core Audio D is lagging. Oh no. Hopefully, damn, I have no clue what's going on. I'm going to kill this one session. I have no clue what Safari's doing. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Anyways, so Bastani.ai and Bastani, Bastani Atomic. Okay. I got to head on out a couple of minutes. So we'll go here. GitHub. Okay. GitHub. I don't know. My thing. So here we go. So in my last live stream, we talk about this, and this is a coding agent or not a coding agent, it's an agent runtime that I'm currently running right now. I'm going to close my Safari. It is just absolutely crashing right now. I have no clue what's going on, but this is currently what I'm running right now. And so a little bit of background with this, and the reason kind of why I bring up Herder is because with this type of thing, this will basically launch into like workflows and all this other stuff that you can do pretty like nice composition of generating software in a Sui-like fashion. So as it has tasks and PRs and various things, it can kind of write the plans and kind of take care of itself all autonomously, and they run for multiple days. And so the way that I'm doing things is I'm basically checking in work in a manner that will, for example, I have a feature that I'm just shipping here. So the feature that I'm shipping here with my agent is around like this app called Clippy. So Clippy is going to clip my clips from my live streams. And what I'm doing is that it's going to have one PR that has a feature, and I'm gonna stack my features on different PRs depending on the features that I'm landing. And so Atomic is really just gonna manage the whole process end to end. So whenever something kicks off in my PRs, I have these different processes within GitHub that will verify the work, do some code reviews and all this stuff. And Atomic will watch them. And as comments fly into the PRs, or it's going to read them, and then Atomic will kick off workers and make sure there's bug fixes. And then it will use Fable to make sure the architecture is still looking okay. And so in essence, Atomic is just going to spawn out these workflows. And so what Atomic did for me here on my end, and we're going to go into more detail with the part 2 tomorrow with Alex, is you can see it actually wrote its own workflow, because I wanted to basically, I said, I want you to basically take a look and spawn out these different workflows so that we can kind of close out all of the PRs for all the different bugs that keep showing up for this big feature that we're writing. So it basically writes its workflow in TypeScript, and it's going to self-manage it. So it gave itself its own reviewers for the architecture, for the integration, and then it can also track the states in the terminal as well. So all of this stuff is code that it wrote. It even writes the different things by itself. I didn't have to do any of this. This is all part of Atomic. It's free. It's open source. You can take it. It can latch on to your existing Codex subscription, also the Claude Code subscription, and I don't have to pay extra. I'm just paying my $200 a month. So that's pretty cool. So I use the Anthropic Opus 5 High. It's like the main orchestrator there, and it's basically spawning work out into different areas there. So that's kind of just a little bit of kind of what's going on. Before I head on out, let me answer some questions and see what's going on. I have tried Buzz, and it's really, really slow. I don't want to tell you what's coming out next week, so I'll hold my tongue from here, and that's all I got to say. But I have tried Buzz. It's really, really slow, and I like something else, and I like Slack better. I don't know. Can we get an update on Pebble when you get a chance? So right now, I haven't touched Pebbles for a little while. I kind of pivoted because I was helping my brother with his weight loss project. So for those who don't know, my brother is actually on a mission to lose 200 pounds. And so it's a massive endeavor with a lot of different moving parts. And what I found is that he got a lot of value when he was able to just text literally an OpenClaw. And so his own OpenClaw basically generated this dashboard for him. And now he's tracking his calorie input. So you can see he's down 14.9 pounds since we started this in Hawaii on July 3rd. So there's a little bit of a trend line of everything that's going on. So like on a previous day or like other days that he's tracking food, all he has to do is like send pictures and texts and stuff. And so he gets an example of like what's going on with his food, his ratings, how much he's eaten and so forth. And that's super helpful because now he can tell like how much he's supposed to be eating, what he's on track for and so forth. And so what's great about this is like the OpenClaw was inspired from the first version because I was going to make Pebbles, which was going to be the audio version of this. And I found a lot of limitations because of the audio stuff, but he's finding a lot of value just in taking pictures, sending texts. And so that will still come along. And I'm trying to figure out what is the best parts of voice that I can take from something like this. So I'm kind of reshaping things on the fly. And I think I'm going to try to iterate with him to figure out what part of voice can be really useful for something like this. And so I am going to try to have a limited beta for this. I need to have like an email list, but what I would recommend doing is just going to my https://rfr.me/startmyai. So I have this pinned in the live stream comments. Go ahead and join the group. It's free to join, and just write that you're interested in it and write that you're interested in it here. And then make a comment in the chat. And then what I would want to do is I'll basically start like a mini group who wants to do this like beta run and see if we can get something set up for you and take some feedback, because I want to try to figure out like, not only is it helping my brother, but like if it's other people on the same mission, I'm on a mission for 10% body fat. That'd be really cool. So if he check marks get groceries, I can't do this because it actually affects his app in real time. It's going to actually build a whole list for him in the kitchen. So this will, because we shop at Costco a lot, we get lean chicken, we get ribeye, these are the types of things we get. So when we go shopping, it basically builds a list for us of all the things that we need to get, from like dairy and eggs to meat and seafood, frozen stuff, produce as well. And this is super helpful because this actually goes back into our recipes and our plan for how to make some of this stuff. And this is something that I made on the fly because I love enchiladas, but enchiladas don't have the right balance of protein and like has too much fat sometimes, and all these other things that we want. So especially with my brother, since he's diabetic, there's these different aspects to other things. So a full Costco chicken rotisserie gets us about 700 grams of protein. And then we have Sinaloa tortillas. So if we get 10 of these and kind of build them out and we build this recipe, it gives us technically about 8 meals. So that could be a lunch, a dinner, and so forth. And so between 2 people, it's basically 4 meals, right? So it's nice to have as a dinner. And then in the morning, I have like something with protein before I go out, or a lunch. And then I have something else after that. Or sometimes I mix it into other vegetables and things and can make like rice bowls with the leftovers. So there's a lot of possibilities. And like what's crazy is like this whole meal maybe costs us like $30 for 2 people for 8 meals, which is like crazy cheap. And it's not that we're doing it cheap, it's just like efficient. So yeah, that's kind of where we're shooting towards. And this is kind of like how we're building this out live. So that's what's up. Have a great day, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are killing it. I love the live streams, and this is kind of why I wanted to pop on before I head on out. I hate the CLI. Yeah, I get you on the CLI thing. I want to see if there's a better way. To be honest, where I'm going is kind of voice, and that's what's up. Have I seen Rune's post on questions regarding Hugging Face Saga? Goldrock, I don't really follow drama or like things like that. I think I might have muted Rune because a lot of the posts that I see weren't really rooted in like insightful information that I can use for myself at this exact moment. And a lot of times with certain characters online, whether it's like engagement bait or drama stuff or various things like that, like I try to look at it from a lens of like, I only have so much time in the day. What can I take that can be useful for me for my current mission right now? So the current mission that I'm on right now is obviously like shipping software, trying to find some really great stuff in like AI. There are people who are doing a lot of really great stuff, especially like in local AI right now. That's really kind of blooming. And I'm trying to see, like fill my feed up with people who are like trying to make, add vision to the latest version of DeepSeek v4. Like that is so rare. Not really many people are doing it. It's kind of niche. So like those people pop up on my feed. If I keep engaging more with like doomsday stuff or news types of things, they don't really, it's like eating junk food. So it's like, it fills my mind, it gets me my dopamine going, but it doesn't actually give me any more value than if I didn't hear the news. So I typically don't engage in those things, and then typically other people will tell me if something is crazy, like if some, I don't know, security breach, I guess. But like out of the security breach, what is something that I can control out of it? Is there anything that I could do as a best practice that I can learn from it, like right now? Is there anything that I'm not doing that I should be incorporating or thinking about in the future? A lot of times, if it's nothing that I can do, then I just don't really spend much time on it. I kind of move on. So yeah, that's just the way that I'm looking at them. I'm not saying that those people are bad or you shouldn't do the same things. It's just a matter of my own priorities and kind of where I'm at right now. So yeah, I totally get it though, as far as all the stuff that's going on. PST events, always knowledge hoarding. Give me some EST or at least a live stream. That's just where I'm at right now. And if you're in EST, I would encourage you Antonio, to kind of build the same thing. Because what's nice about video on demand is, especially on YouTube, is when my live stream ends, people around the world can watch it. So there's like amazing people like in Japan, there's people like in Poland and like Europe and stuff who watch whenever they wake up, which is pretty exciting. So being live is great. I'm trying to move towards more in-person events. So if I do some events on the East Coast, I'll be on East Coast time. It's kind of tough because I also go to Hawaii. So that's like 12-hour difference between like the other side of the world. So I just do whatever I can do with my situation. So I appreciate the support. The fact that you're here live is really cool. It's kind of amazing. Yo, tech friend, man. Dude, I missed you at the Droid event, man. You should have walked up and just said hello. Spilled the beans. Conversational. So conversational weight loss, this is kind of why I'm trying to figure out, the voice thing maybe towards a different part, because long running voice conversations are really just kind of painful right now. And long running like text conversations are sort of not solved, but they're really much better now with OpenClaw. And it's really amazing to kind of see where this progression will end up taking us here. So TechMD, man, speaking of which, Sparks, I'm so excited to play around with your little Frankenstein version. And yeah, it's funny because that came up in the conversation at the open source event here in San Francisco with Philip Kiley and the whole projector thing that they were doing with basically adding vision to the GLM model. So yeah, I'm super curious to see how that ends up. If you haven't had a chance, go ahead and follow TechMD as well. We got some heavy hitters in the chat. Let's go. Quen 3.8 next week. That's gonna be. I'm ready for it, bro. I got my Sparks ready. My Sparks right now are currently downloading the latest hotness. So that's what's up. Love the background. It's crazy how Ray's in dynamic and live. I love lives, man. Lives is kind of where it's at. Let's go. Yeah, everyone's in the chat blowing it up right now. So I appreciate that. So, really quickly before I head on out, I want to show you. Let's see what I got going on over here. So, I want to check the progress on my current. Let's see. I use Ghosty for my editor, so SSH Spark. So, in my Spark, I use Herder, HERDR, and so right here, it's running. Oh, we got our Sparks running. DeepSeek v4 Flash context is the million token context window. What? Oh, wow. How can I configure my droid to use it and give me the instructions so I can have my droid use it from my Mac? I'm using Tailscale on my Mac. So we'll probably need a private URL so others can't hit it who aren't on my Tailscale network. Oh, hell yes. Okay. Damn it. I have to head on out. I literally have to go to Berkeley like right now. Oh, Doug, I can't. Literally, DeepSeek v4 Flash just landed right now on my 2 Sparks. Oh my God. This is so crazy. Let's go. Okay, thank you for the shout out. For sure, man. Dude, TechMD is the MVP right now. So yeah, TechMD is basically carving out the future right now for us with vision, to try to get vision on our DeepSeek v4 setup. So also I need to set up this from Mia. Mia is a great follow. Mia AI Lab is cooking. This is where I get a lot of my sauce from. Actually, I'm using Mia AI's version of the DeepSeek v4 so I could run it on my 2 Sparks as fast as possible with 1 million token context window. So this will give you the actual health of the Sparks. And this actually shows us like the showcase for the prompts. This is insanely cool. So am I cooking with Codex Micro? Bro, I just want this thing to work. It does not work right now. It is a brick right now for me. It only works inside of Cursor. I have to change the keyboard mode and then just use it inside of Cursor. And it works great in Cursor. So what I'm doing is Cursor released this thing called the Cursor Bridge SDK. So it allows me to directly communicate with the agents. So I get more feedback from what's happening in the agentic layer. And I'm actually writing some firmware to flash this guy and then have the lights blink and set up and just do all the stuff within Cursor. It's a way better experience actually inside of Cursor just out of the box. And so it's really funny because there's a lot of problems with the Codex app or the ChatGPT app in this right now with it disconnecting on my Mac. And yeah, I'm just trying to isolate, like instead of debugging the Codex app, because there's no SDK for Codex, and I've been poking around in Codex as far as like the binary and seeing what's going on. And I was like, Cursor already has the SDK. I just plug right in. That's really easy. So I have enough stuff exposed, and that'll come later. But I'm gonna wait for the fixes first because I have to like wipe everything to factory and then put stuff back on. It's just kind of pain in the butt. So more on that later. But yeah, this thing is cool. It has a lot of potential and the weight is amazing. If you haven't seen, I have a video on YouTube that goes through the unboxing. It's really funny. So you'll see some of my headaches that I have literally trying to use this thing. So I'll try to use it live. I love my little knob keyboard though, for real here. So yeah, that's what's up. I need to follow TechMD. No one talks about AI vision for sure, man. He said, bro, yo, yeah. Mia and Tech 2 Wild are also killing it for sure. Yes, yeah. Yo, Joao Fernandez, how's it going? Yeah, I gotta head on out, damn it. Okay, so, all right. So what I'm gonna do is my DGX Sparks literally just finished getting the DeepSeek v4 Flash 2. And tomorrow I'm gonna have a live stream for the part 2 of Atomic. So that agentic runtime with Alex. I'm gonna be meeting him in person in San Francisco tomorrow, somewhere in like the afternoon. So I will be going live there. And then from me going live there, I'm also going to set up DeepSeek v4 Flash to run in that agentic environment because I would love to hand off some tasks to v4 Flash so that way I don't burn as many tokens, but it'd just be really cool to see what tasks it can be really good at. So a lot of sauce is coming. I just wanted to quickly pop in and just say hello. I'm trying to be live streaming pretty much as possible. And so this is my mission now. So just turn on the camera whenever I can. I was only supposed to be live for like 15 minutes. I know it's only like 25 minutes to head on out, but I just couldn't help myself. I love this stuff, and I love playing around with what's happening in the AI space, and everything is heating up right now. So I appreciate you showing up for this quick stream, and I will see you tomorrow, probably around noonish or something like that. So stay tuned, Pacific time. Peace out, y'all.